We're getting to the end of the day, and we're going to wrap up a little bit about what we've learned today. And we're going to have two people on the stage to talk about the recipe for successful innovation. We're going to see how an organization like NTT Data actually works with a successful culture around innovation and cutting edge technologies. So please welcome to the stage Thomas Nørmark, Head of Innovation, and Thomas Nørmark, Head of Innovation, father of Tech Overdrive. Come on up, Thomas. And also Per Falk Jensen, he is the CEO of NTT. Yeah. Have a seat.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Relax.
Sounds
No
good.
seat for me, but I don't mind. So, okay, Per, what's your impressions of the day?
Yeah, at least I'm not dressed for the occasion, I can see. So, but I think it's really good to see
What do you
that
feel like you're missing?
a tattoo, as an example. But no, I think it has been a great day. So we've done this now for a couple of years, and to see how, let's say, our vision is maturing, how let's say, the technologies are really getting into business. So that was basically our aim 5-6 years ago, that we want to, let's say, see all of these emerging technologies create value for our customers.
Where do you feel like you stand in NTT compared to other companies that are also working with innovation?
I think we made a plan 5-6 years ago, a couple of the guys in the company, also Thomas, of course, that we wanted to. We were pretty good at processes. We were pretty good at working for enterprises. We were really good at working with data. But the plan we made with the transformation lab, basically supporting, let's say, the digital transformation for all our clients, that was a smart move, because what we see now in the market space is that all the big production manufacturing companies and so forth, they are basically also creating their own transformation labs to support their digital journeys. So for sure, we made a smart move.
So you had a head start, you could say.
We at least were some of the pioneers, I think, within this.
Definitely. So, Per, what did you notice today that made an impression on you? Is there something that's going to stick with you?
Mainly, I would say the maturity of, let's say, using AI. And then, of course, also what I see in my daily life is Thomas, you explained with the nose. So how important or how good we are at now copying the parts of the body. So the amount of data we can track with eye recognition, cameras, etc. Now with the nose, smelling, and so forth. So today we can basically replicate more or less all the humans' capabilities, and seeing that put into action in real business context. Really, it's really nice to see.
So, Thomas, just with regards to what Pierre's saying about the nose and the senses, does it have to be a nose? Again, we're getting into a little bit of what we in technology and design call skeuomorphism. Like we're trying to make something look like what it is in the analog world, even though it is actually just ones and zeros and data. Is that just a gimmick, or does it make sense?
I would say that it's a gimmick that we 3D printed a nose and put the sensors into that nose, but it very well explains what we are trying to do. Talking about different types of gases might not give you the idea that you're actually trying to replicate the smelling sense, but having that nose tells the story better.
So it's again a more sort of relatable interface.
Yeah, and especially when the technology is that new and you have to explain all the great things you can do with it, it's a good thing to at least have a nose to show.
Do you have ears also?
I have ears and eyes, but as you can see, the cameras are not looking like eyes anymore.
3D printed ones that we'll see maybe next year.
Yeah.
So Thomas, what are you taking with you from today?
I think, so based on last year, the name is Tech Overdrive, right? But maybe we need to rename it for Innovation Overdrive next year, because it has not been that much about the technology and whether the technology can actually help us and is matured. It's more what kind of problems can you solve, what great things can you do with the technologies that we have in hand, and not so much about does the technology work at all and how can we use it. So,
but isn't that also, like you say, isn't that a maturity? It's a it's a step on the ladder of evolution in how we work with tech. We're not just tech focused, like, oh, let's do it because we can, but we're saying like, okay, we don't necessarily need to do it. We need to find out what are the problems that we need to solve, and then at that step, add the technology.
Yes, and I'm very satisfied that we are at that level now, because for many years we talked about disruptive technologies, emerging technologies, exponential technologies, new tech, advanced technologies, but very focused on the technology part. But I can see now that the focus is really on the application.
Yeah, the paradox, or maybe what really makes sense now, is that the focus is on the humans and the human experiences,
Yes,
and then tech.
indeed.
So Per, what effect, if any, did COVID have on the power of innovation in your company?
Oh, that's a huge question. At least it changed the way we worked, and some of the things, at least in my opinion, brings innovation is bringing, let's say, different people together on different topics and so forth. A lot of people would also argue that it matters how the facilities and everything. At least it was a new facility working that much remotely. So we had to be much more clear when we did interactions with people, with customers, on what we actually aimed to achieve and how we wanted to do it. So I think in that matter, the world has opened up. You can see this event today. There are several hundreds of participants as well in the virtual world. And that enables working much more together. And in my opinion, that's one of the key factors that drives innovation, bringing different people together with different mindsets, skills, and so forth.
There's a saying that goes something like, if you press stop on a machine, it stops working. If you press stop on a human being, it starts working.
Yeah.
So
Exactly.
this is what some people have experienced with COVID, is that, you know, there's a pause. If you press pause, then ideas come up. And since you being already an innovative company with an innovative culture, do you think you were better prepared to tackle the challenges that came along with a crisis like that? Quick adaptation and so forth.
I don't know, but I think at least for us, it was a clear strategy we made when we established our lab. We saw that the digital transformation were on its way. Of course, now we are working like a startup, but actually being a global company with 300,000 people inside the company. So we have a lot of good brains. We have a lot of nice clients, customers that actually wants to work with us. And bringing that together is, of course, easier, also being able to work remotely. And that has possibly had a positive effect on what we can do today.
We're definitely seeing a lot of projects coming from you, and a lot of innovation. So Thomas, what's the secret for you just pumping out ideas and innovation?
It's pretty simple, actually. So it's all about culture. I know it's something that has been said over and over again.
Culture eats strategy for breakfast.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And by embracing and creating and fostering this innovation culture in the entire company is really the secret. And then we have all the bright minds, we have all the good ideas, yeah, this is the only advice I can give. Start with the culture, and then the rest will come.
And what would be then the biggest challenges? Because I'm sure there are challenges also. We began, both you and me, by saying something will probably go wrong on stage. We had a reboot of a browser and probably a few other things. When working with cutting edge technology, things go wrong all the time. But what are the barriers or the challenges as you see them?
Sometimes we actually come up with a conclusion that this is not possible. Or we don't have the right data to predict this and that. And that is part of the game, and that's also part of the communication that you need to take with the clients, that sometimes they will experience that we cannot solve the problems that they call us to solve. But luckily, it only happens very, very seldom. So
I think it's really raining now.
yeah, you have to stay for the bar.
Yeah, we have to get locked down in this venue.
Yeah.
There's lots of alcohol, so don't worry. Per, how do you maintain this culture in the company as the head of the company and thereby also the head of the culture? How do you make sure that that is the leading goal for you to have that culture that facilitates the innovation?
Yeah. Of course, I think that Thomas and I are experiencing, let's say, different problems because I would also say one of the big challenges for us is to learn how to, let's say, bring all of these innovations into an enterprise and into a, let's say, a context of bringing it out to the market. And it's always difficult to make a, let's say, a version 1.0 and then bring it into the market and then having the lab working on the 1.1 next version. And that is and will always be a challenge. But I think the good thing is that we are driven by real customers, real markets. So we don't invent anything just because we feel like it. So basically what we do is customer driven. And we just need to stay focused on do what our customers require us to do. So they want us to, let's say, support their digital transformation, but they also want stable environments. They want to make money on the inventions we do and so forth. And I think that's at least one of the key things for us.
How do you find that correct ratio between profit, but also investing in R&D and innovation and that's always sort of a challenge to
I didn't hope you would ask that question, but I will try to answer my best. I think the most challenging thing is actually a general thing. How do you adapt to, let's say, the cloud, platform as a service, software as a service, and how do you, let's say, find that model? Because you need to be more patient in the way you make money. You need to be, let's say, more clever and make the money, let's say, in the long run. Mm-hmm. But then it will also, let's say, pay back threefolded. And that goes both when it comes to the profit, but it also goes how you measure your success into your business. So yeah, a lot of big corporations are, let's say, daily, quarterly driven. And talking about innovations and working with this cloud and platform economies and so forth, it is a different game. I will not say that we are there yet, but as a management, we are really trying to learn this, and at least I think we have the patience to learn it in the right way, so we don't, let's say, mess up all the good stuff we have.
If you look at the car business, a lot of the innovation, like the really cutting edge innovation, might come from a Formula One team that runs from that same company. But that's of course not the cars that we're running in, but it's helping the technology. Is your lab a little bit the same for you? That this is where you experiment and you learn new things, and then that can drip over to the rest of the organization?
At least the ambition or the mission statement we made 5-6 years ago were that we would, let's say, challenge our customers in real life environments. So either we came with technologies, try to challenge them, or they could come with us with a real challenge and we would try to solve that. Mm-hmm. And that's basically what we want to continue doing with our lab. And let's say then we want the spillover effect in the other, let's say, business areas. Now we have been working with data platform for 20 years. We have been working with business processes now for 20 years. All the things we are talking about, machine learning, AI, and so forth, is now built into the processes. And we have that understanding. We have those capabilities, broadly speaking, in our organization. Mm-hmm. And that's not what our lab people should do. They should work on the next gen, the new trends, everything that is in the market.
So, Thomas, Tech Overdrive or Innovation Overdrive, what's it going to look like in 5 years from now?
Ooh, that's a big question.
Where are we? Where's your lab?
In the meta universe, we will meet up.
Yeah, we will be in the metaverse, definitely. Everyday meeting for stuff like this. Well, I hope that we can still keep the eye contact, bring the technology down to eye contact with our real partners and clients and customers and employees. So hopefully there will be some very, very futuristic and crazy things that I cannot predict today, but I hope that we can still bring it in a setting like this instead of going to a metaverse or some virtual place where we cannot meet for real.
Definitely. So one of the things we're taking with us is that the innovation that we're going to see in the future will be human-driven. That's what I'm hearing that you're saying, and I'm hearing that you're saying it's something you're going to continue having as a innovation lab as a part of your culture and strategy in the company also. So I don't think we've seen the last Take Overdrive. But help me give a big hand to Thomas Nørmark and Per Falk Jensen from NTT.
And I just have one last, or I think
Yeah.
Per has an invite for everyone.
Yes?
Yeah. So first of course, all of you, thank you for coming today. It's great to see that many people here. And every year we also have a conference called Making Digital Real. And this year it will be the 25th of October. And if anyone cares to join, all of you will be welcome to join this conference as well. It will be a little bit more, let's say, business enterprise. How do you see this cool stuff built into, let's say, big business environment, enterprises and so forth? But a lot of cool stuff will also be presented at that conference. And normally it's a huge event. Normally we are 400 or 500 people. A lot of our good clients is there and customers are there. And so all of you are welcome. And thank you for showing up today. It's because of you, this is possible. All of our good customers. So thank you all.
Thank you for that invitation. I promise to wear a new dress next time. So thank you to all the speakers that have been here today. Thank you so much to you that have been here in the room. Thank you to the people that have been watching from their screens at home.